Hello, 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 hello. Got a new song there at the beginning. Change it up a little bit. FYI, that is still my music. That is all little old me. So, uh, let's hope that we can get through it this time. We started this the other day, and we had a few bugs. Some real hardcore bugs. Like I would take off running, my dude would start running backwards. Keyboard would freeze, nothing was working. Um, So I did some going back and try to fixing it and everything like that. Um, so what I ended up doing was setting it up to where it was like I lost like an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Um, so I did a little bit offline. Let's come up to here. There was a few strips along down here and a couple of little patches that needed to be plowed. I plowed those. I started the planters running again. Um, he missed something right there? No, he's in the right spot. Okay. So that's basically where we're at. And then let's fill up the milk. No spare space. Blah, 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 blah. Words. No spare space for water. All right. So let's take this back to the shop, and we're going to come out here and we're going to try to lime that field. All right, let's just drop this off right here. And yeah, last time we played this, I was freaking out, man. I thought I lost it. I thought I completely lost my save. All right. Let's give it a minute while it's trying to figure out this field. There we go. Not paying attention. I don't understand why sometimes it'll change colors and sometimes it don't. But anyways, how's everybody doing today? It's Wednesday. And we're doing some farm sim early. Usually we do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I wanted to get back to this to make sure that it's working. And now we're getting a nice solid color of green. Even right there, it changed a little bit, but it's staying solid. And then other times it's all patchy and stuff. I don't get it. So this is going to probably take a while. Matter of fact, as when we go and get lime and stuff like that, we should probably repair and fuel. I swear to God, there's something wrong with my middle boy. It's the middle of summer and he walking around in a hoodie and shit. Or not a, it's not a hoodie, it's more like a zip up um cloth type jacket and stuff. He always likes to wear long sleeve shirts and jackets and stuff like that year round. I'm like, dude, aren't you hot? And he's like, nope. I don't know. What's up, Grave Reaper? Welcome in. We're seeding and liming a huge field. It's like 500 acres. Making lunch. Yeah, it's getting close to lunchtime here. It's only 11 o'clock, or almost 11. Oh, you're East Coast? Yeah, I'm West Coast. I'm out here in the part of California that doesn't catch on fire. Man, it's crazy how every year something around here is on fire, and it's not just once a year. It's like three, four, five times. It's like you think people would learn. Northern New York. Cool. I've been to the city once. I flew out of Fresno, California to New York City, and we went there to go watch AC/DC. A buddy of mine won tickets off the radio, and his wife didn't want to go, so me and him went. God, that was so long ago. I had to be what, the late 90s, either very late 90s, early 2000s. I'm thinking it was the late 90s, like 98, 99. Yeah, you tell somebody, oh, I'm from New York, and they're like, oh, New York City? No. That's like you tell people I'm from California, and they think, oh, you're from Hollywood or LA? You a movie star or rock star? Well, tried to be a rock star. Yeah, I'm actually from the farming part of California. Small city. But yeah, our trip to New York, we left Fresno early that afternoon. We got to New York. They uh they had like a limousine that came and picked us up, took us to the motel, dropped us off, and the driver's like, well, I'll be here in about 2 hours. Pick you guys up to take you to the concert. So by the time that we got to New York and got to our hotel, we basically went to our hotel and got ready for the concert and left. And we went to the concert. Um, we watched the concert, went back to the hotel, and the next morning at like 9:30 in the morning, we were on an airplane back to Fresno. We didn't see nothing of New York. Me and my buddy were like, yeah, we can go see the Statue of Liberty and all that stuff. No, we had like no time. It was like we were there and out. It was basically airport to hotel, hotel to concert, back to hotel, back to airport. No, I do take that back. We did do one thing. When we got back to the hotel, there was a dude selling hot dogs out on the corner, and there was quite a few people around him. So we figured if there's people around him, he got to be good. We went and got a hot dog and stuff, and it was good. I liked it. But yeah, that was about the only thing we really ate was the friggin' hot dog. I was gonna snack on some stuff out of the little snack bar refrigerator thing, but it wasn't covered. And if we eat, and we got told if we ate anything that we'd have to pay for it. And then I started looking at the prices, and it was like $5 for a can of soda, uh, $3 for a small little like 50-cent bag of chips. You know the chips that you can get like two for $1? Yeah, it was like $3 for one of those little bags. I was like, hell no. Let's see, every year there are like two big name of music artists that come to the hometown fair because a hometown because they were wait, what? A lot of hotels or motels have high prices. Okay, so you have country artists come to your town because that's where the fair's held every year. Yeah, we have the little town north of us called Carruthers. They always have a fair and stuff, and they usually get not like huge names or anything like that. Um, Usually they're like bands that used to be somebody that just nobody listens to or watches any much anymore. But now the Fresno Fair, we get some pretty good names coming through there. Or even the autocorrect. Yeah, I turn that stuff off. I'm like, I don't need no autocorrect. But sometimes I'm like, how the hell do you spell? Oh, come on, my dude, go. I should have just went. I could have probably been past them. But we even got there's a casino nearby us or nearby me and stuff that they get some pretty good acts that come through there every now and then. I used to go there a lot to watch uh comedy acts. I know Fresno Fair back in the day. I'd seen Kid Rock. A girl that I was dating won tickets. And she's like, I won tickets to the fair. I'm like, cool. Have fun. She goes, well, we're going to go see Kid Rock. I said, all right, let's go. I don't care for the fair. I mean, I'll go and stuff like that, but it's just, you know, it's like if you want to ride on a ride, unless you get there like hella early before like all the people are there and stuff, um, you can get in a line and be able to ride a ride within like 10-15 minutes. But most of the time you gotta friggin' wait an hour, hour and a half, even get on a ride, and it's just like you go spend all this money and then you spend the majority of your time in lines. So I've just got to the point where it's just like, you know what? It's not worth time. It's not worth my time going. Man, I hope this thing don't glitch out again. Smash them. Push them. Just a bug. If you're doing so smack. You're this big and he's that big. Uh-oh. Wasn't paying attention. Almost went into the trees. Yeah, but the country fair has race stars and big names that come every year. This year, the artists are Chase Matthews and Tyler Brandon. I have no idea who they are. I don't listen to country music. And if I do listen to country music, that's because somebody else is playing it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good country songs that I like and stuff, you know. But you know, it's every genre of music. Every genre of music has good songs and horrible songs. But I've always been a metalhead. My genre of music is glam metal, glam rock. That's the or hair metal. I guess that's the best way to. I love me some good old hair metal. Yeah, growing up, my two favorite bands was Poison and Dokken. Dokken had my all-time favorite guitarist, George Lynch. That boy is just phenomenal. You don't like Jess or Electrico, but don't care for pop, but I do listen to metal. Don't matter to me what type of metal it is. Yeah. I don't care for pop, R&B, rap. Well, R&B is all right. I can handle some R&B, some old school R&B, you know what I mean? Uh but yeah. Rap, I don't care for rap that much. My thing I've always had an issue with rap is the sampling. That was my biggest problem. As far as oh, jazz. Okay, not Jess. I was wondering what Jess was. um Now, rap I don't really care for because of the sampling. I was like, if you can't pick up an instrument and play it yourself, how can you call yourself a musician? You can call yourself a singer, you can call yourself a poet, you know, because don't get me wrong, artists can friggin' bust out some badass lyrics and stuff. They can do some writing and stuff, but it's just the music part of it. It's like I try to listen to it, but it's like I'm hearing the original song. You know what I mean? I'm not hearing what they're doing. Now, jazz, I like some jazz. I like if the jazz has just a good ripping guitar in it and that guitarist is just shredding all over the place. I love it. I'll listen to jazz and guitar jazz all day long. But just regular everyday type jazz and stuff like that, nah. Like smooth jazz and all that stuff, nah. Yeah, don't care for electro. What was that other one that just came out a little bit ago? That friggin' oh god, that stuff used to make my ears bleed. Um, it wasn't even real. It was just like noises, just weird noises. I mean, it did kind of sound music. You can hear the music to it, but oh god, what the? I can't even think of what the hell the name of the style of music was. But it's kind of weird. If you go back and look, music fads last about anywhere from like 6 to 10 years. And then it's like something new. Or something new tries to come out and then it's out for a minute and then it's gone. You know, and you can look back at like hair metal. Okay, what happened? Okay, before hair metal there was the punk scene. Before punk there was oh god, what was it? But anyway, so it went like punk and then hair metal and then grunge and then after grunge it was, oh, what the hell was it? But yeah, it's just like it just, you know, metal evolves and changes a little bit, and the next generation was is like, oh, that's dad's music, we need to make our own music. Oh, there was new metal, NU metal. That was one of those that was after grunge. And then there's some stuff out there, it's just like I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just it could be it's like almost good, but not quite. Like bands like Baby Metal. Have you ever heard Baby Metal? A buddy of mine turned or showed me them, and I'm just, even to this day, I still don't know what to think of them. It's like this. If the band had a different singer, it would be phenomenal. If the singers had a different band, it would be good. But they take like almost death metal, like metal and stuff, and then there's, you know, and then they put three young okay, Baby Metal is a metal band with three young Japanese teenage girls singing like pop. And like I said, I listened to it, and the band can really play. The band is good, and the girls can sing. But it's just, it's the metal and the pop. You know, the pop singing over metal, it just like, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to just go and listen to a song from them, or, you know, just kind of click, you know, skip through it real quick to get an idea and stuff. But I was just like, and they're huge. They're frigging huge. Like over in Japan and stuff like that. They're playing like huge arenas and stuff like that. That's kind of, I want to say, like, oh no, I don't think K-pop Demon Hunters like that. I think they're just kid pop. Yeah, see, here's the thing is, like with me, most of my friends all listen to different kinds of music because we're all from we're from a small town, right? So now some of us started hanging out because we kind of listened to the same music and stuff like that. As we got a little bit older, our music varied off. Like okay, like for instance, my buddy Alan, that guy was all about like 80s pop rock and stuff like that. More of like your top 40s type stuff. I'm trying to think of some of the bands that were like that he would listen to. He listened to stuff his mom listened to. Okay, and then he came over one day, and it was like the first time he ever came over to my house. And we were just kicking back, and I'm like, well, you want to listen to some music or something? And he's like, yeah. What do you got? And then he's like, well, you have this or do you have this? And I'm like, ooh. I said, no, I got some Motley Crue. And I played him Motley Crue. And I played him Shout Out the Devil. And he was like tripping because he's never heard anything quite like that. And I'm like, oh, if you think Motley Crue's crazy, you want to try some Metallica? So I played him. No, I didn't play him Metallica. I played him Megadeth. And I played him a song, Peace Sells. And his eyes just got big. Like uh um like the my ceiling opened up, the clouds parted, friggin' God beam came down and was, oh, he found his light, you know? And then he was like, oh, I like this. And he wanted to borrow my tape. And I always had a thing of no, nobody borrows any of my music cassettes or anything like that, because everybody's like, I'll return it, and they never do. And then all of a sudden he's coming to me going, hey, have you heard of this band or that band? And and he was just, his steps in metal went from, in like one day, went from a Motley Crue to Megadeth. And then a week later, he's like, oh, have you heard of Slayer? And I'm like, yeah, Slayer's cool. I got a couple of Slayer albums. And then all of a sudden it was like, have you heard of Napalm Death? How about Deicide, Cannibal Corpse? And I mean, he's like, if he could understand the lyrics, they were weak. It was all of a sudden Motley Crue was the coolest, and Megadeth, and all of a sudden Megadeth and Motley was sucked, and then Slayer sucked. You know, because his music just kept getting more and more extreme, which was cool, because him going that way introduced me to a lot of bands that I would have probably never heard of and stuff like that, or any of us, because I was still into, you know, just the hair metal scene and stuff like that. But I did you know, venture off through the thrash metal and stuff like that, and you know, like I said, I would have, you know, albums from like Poison, Slayer, I used to even, this trips a lot of people out. I had a record collection that I had classical records from, you know, like symphony style music and stuff like that. And people are like, why do you listen to symphony music? Dude, symphony is metal. If you can't hear the metal in symphony music, you got problems. I mean, it's like, I don't know. A music teacher started talking about it, and talking about symphony music and stuff like that. And how it's like, if you just like close your eyes and you listen, the music takes you on a it's like a story. It'll take you on a ride. And you know, like a roller coaster, it'll go up and down and fast and slow, and sure the hell does. I was like, what the? I got into symphony, classical and stuff like Mozart and Beethoven, and we want to repair everything here. Hell, classical music got me into oh, what the hell is that called? Neo something metal or something like that. It's kind of like metal meets classical. My mom played Ozzy for me once. That's cool. When I was slowly getting into metal. But what really got me in Your mom played Korn and Slipknot. You want to hear something crazy? I played in a band called Last Rites with a couple of friends and my younger brother. And we played a show at a club in Fresno called the Cadillac Club. And this was back in, oh God, the 90s. Hold on a second. I can get you close to a date. When was this? May 1st, 1993. So yeah, it was the mid 90s. 90, yeah, probably like 93. Yeah, 93, 94. But we were the second band. There was three bands playing. We were the second band. And the first band that opened up for us was a bunch of little kids from high school. I'm talking freshmen and sophomores and stuff, you know. And you know, one of them might have even still been in junior high. Who knows? But they were little kids, man, and they called themselves Korn. They spelt it Cornn. It basically had two N's. And the singer, it was, I do believe it was the same lineup as Korn. Maybe a couple of different musicians switched out, but I know it was the same singer because he was doing that type stuff. And my brother was like looking at him going, what the hell? He was like, I kind of like that. And we were just like, we were tripping on because they were little kids and they were rocking and stuff, but it was like, forgot to get gas. All right, let's get back to Lyman. Yeah, I've played in a few bands over the years. The ones that I played shows with was Last Rites, Can of Worms, and Inertia. Oh, Achilletim. But I don't really want to call that a band. That was that was something that was like about 6-7 months long, and we were a Metallica cover band. All we did was play all songs up to the Black Album. We didn't play anything off the Black Album. Everything pre-Black Album. So basically Injustice for All and back.
And I know he's not helping.
Oh, I hope that I'm able to get past that point that I was. See, this is what it started doing last time. It's not painting. Yeah, see, that should be a solid color, and it's not, and then it starts again. I don't get that. That has to be some type of bug.
Stop that.
And see, now it did it again. I mean, it's not wasting, I mean, it's not spraying lime, which is a good thing, but it should be covering it. Now, I want to see something. No. I thought maybe it might spray that way. Now, I wonder what's going to happen. I think do you think I'll run out of lime before I run out of gas? The only percussion instruments that my band teacher has, spell correct, uh, had me on yet is the drum kit. Yeah, when I first started playing music, I played drums. I always wanted to be a drummer when I first got into music. And then, I ended up getting a guitar. Well, I had a drum set, and then I sold the drum set, and then my older brother got a guitar, and I started messing around on that when he was gone, because I was just into music. I wanted to play anything. And then I ended up buying my own guitar, went to a pawn shop and put it on layaway. And first guitar I bought was a Honer, and I spent like $250 or something like that on it. And this is back in 89, 90, something like that. And then years later, when I bought the first guitar that I bought from a music store, was I spent, it was funny, I spent $420 out the door. And I got a guitar, I got the case, and it was an Ibanez. I love that guitar. And then what was my third guitar? Projector? No, I had something else before that. Ended up later on. I ended up having a Kurt Hammett replica ESP. Well, it was an ESP guitar, but it was like the Kurt Hammett signature series guitars from Metallica. I got that from a buddy of mine. Well, my old guitars from a band Can of Worms. He was done playing and needed some money, so he sold his guitar and amp to me. And I told him if he ever wanted it back, I'd sell it back to him for the same price. And he ended up moving away and stuff. So, and then now I got a 1985 Gibson Explorer with custom paint. It's Andy Cobalt Blue. And I have a 2010 Epiphone Les Paul. Then I got a 1968 12-string Yamaha acoustic. And then I got another guitar. I think it's a Peavey. I don't know. I can't see the name of it. That's my kid's guitar, though. I have played so far brake drum, cowbell, extended cymbals, and a gong. What's a brake drum? Oh, are you talking like a brake drum off of a friggin' car? I don't think that's what it is. I wanted to join the school band, but they didn't he said he don't have room for a guitar or a bass, because I'm like, well, he's like, well, we don't have room for a guitar, and I'm like, well, I could play bass, and he goes, we don't play bass in this either. Yeah, the music teacher didn't like me. Oh yes. Okay. I've done stuff like that to do drum tracks and stuff for a buddy of mine. She was kind of more of like a pop singer, so I was trying to get like different sounds and stuff like that I can use. I would just hit and started sampling all kinds of different things. I'd hit stuff with the drumstick. I'm like, I pick up like a glass Coke bottle and tap a glass Coke bottle with the drumstick. I'd run my finger across the end of a broom, you know, across the bristles of a broom to get a sound and stuff. And just little things like that. You throw it into like the background and stuff like that, and just like you hear it, but it's like, oh, what instrument is that? You still don't know how the school got it. The teacher probably made it. If it was off a car, he probably walked over to auto shop and been like, hey, can I use that real quick? The shop teacher's like, I don't care, you know? Most likely that's how. There's a YouTube channel. I cannot think of the name of it. I'll have to find it. If I find it, I'll see if I'll post it. But it's like I don't want to say DJs, engineers, producers that like make music and stuff like that. They're like, okay, here is a sample of something, and you got to just use that and only that to make a song. And like one I remember was like a bird chirping, and this dude friggin', oh my god, what he did with it, like he would cut each little chirp into little smaller pieces, and then he's like, oh well, we can turn this up here and we can do this up here, and it's just a little chirp 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 chirp, and all of a sudden it starts and goes boom, and it's like, where the hell did you get all those crazy sounds from just a chirp 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 chirp? You know what I mean? It turned it into like a song, and I was just like, but it's just adding different effects and stuff like that to it. I was like, that was crazy. Is that what it's called? Step dub or dubstep or dub something? That was the other thing I was talking about, but he turned it into like that kind of a song. Dub bass or bass, whatever the hell that stuff is. Isn't it called dubstep? And thinking about that, dubstep, isn't that a hip-hop way to say two-stepping? Because that's a country dance, two-step. It was there before a teacher started working in the school, and that was 2020 or 22. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's people out there that will just take whatever and turn and sample it and turn it into a sound. I used to have a sampler back in the day for a minute. I used to work for this auto body shop, and the dude owed me money, and he had a sampler, and I was just like, well, you owe me money, I'll just take that instead. And he was like, okay. So I ended up, he owed me like $800, and I got like a $2,000 sampler and like a $800 microphone. Oh, maybe about a $500 microphone. I know it was a pretty expensive microphone, and it was a badass microphone. I used that thing for a long time for vocals. Oh, you want to race, buddy? We can race. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's using nitrous. You see that? He cheating. He's using nitrous. Oh. What you got? Where you at? What you got? Where you at? But yeah, so I got that sampler and I was like, at the time, I had no use for it. I'm like, I am a guitarist and slash I dabble on the drums and the bass and the keyboard and stuff. But uh uh you know, my main thing is guitar, and I like playing rock and roll and metal, and I see no use of having a sampler because I looked at it as that's something that rappers use. Okay. Well, years later, I kicked myself in the ass for not keeping it because I could have been like, there was so much I could have used it for later on, especially when I joined Inertia, or didn't join when I started it. It was funny. The original name for our band, before we changed it to Inertia, was called Noise from Next Door. I thought it was kind of a cool, catchy name because we were a garage band and we were just made noise. Well, we didn't really make noise. I mean, we were trying to write music and stuff like that, but we were like alternative rock ska when we first started, and it was me, it's this girl and a different guy and a different drummer, and the bass player, she wanted to move and stuff, or she wanted to move to to live with her dad. And, you know, I'm not gonna stop somebody from doing that. She was still high school and everything and young, and we sat down and talked for, me, her, and the singer talked for like an hour and a half, and um, and it was basically, I don't want to put an ultimatum on you, and I'm not going to. But I mean, if you can dedicate and make it here every weekend to play and be able to do shows, come down here on the weekends to practice and stuff like that, and be able to make shows and stuff like that, we'll keep you. But if you can't, then we're gonna have to do something else. And she goes, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do that. There's no way. I don't have a car, a vehicle, or anything like that. Because me and my singer, we both worked, and it was like, if you can get here, if you can, we can. If you have transportation, we can get you gas money. If you get here, we get you home and stuff. And so she left, and then the drummer had a crush on her, and she wanted nothing really to do with him. So he got dick hurt because she left the band, so he quit the band. And so we found a different drummer, and then found a bass player, and started writing some pretty bomb-ass friggin' music. But if I would have still had that sampler, it would have been cool. There was ideas I had for it in the band and stuff. We could have used like just little intro type stuff. And then I wanted it more for like sound effects, like maybe explosions and gunfire or something like that, not necessarily samples of music or whatever. Yeah, I was even thinking of bringing in a keyboardist and stuff, but we never got that far. we played a lot of shows and did, you know, a few battle of the bands. But when I was thinking, you know, we should have a keyboard player and we can expand our variety, not necessarily our variety of music, but open the sound up more and stuff. The band was pretty much at the end. You're the only one that listens to metal. You know, that's pretty much everywhere. Are you high school or college? Because I know where I live here, um, I would say 85% of the school listened to country, and then the other, you know, 15% was either listen to metal, listen to rap, or just something totally different from that. Because it was only about like in the school that the high school I went to here, there was only like 10, 15 of us that listened to, that was like a hardcore metalheads. And, you know, that's what kind of attracted all of us together, was music. Oh, you're still high school? Yeah. That's how it was for me. Everybody was, it was country and pop. It was horrible. Like, I went to one of the high school dances and stuff, and all they played was country music and pop music. And I went to the DJ and I'm like, hey man, you got any rock or anything like metal, anything? And he's like, I got told not to play it. And I'm like, cool, we're out. So all of us metalheads and we went to the other side of town, about a half a mile down the street, and there was an open lot that we just called the parking lot, and it's basically where like everybody would go to hang out to figure out what the hell we were going to do that night. And so yeah, we all just went up there, hung out, and uh, my buddy had his car out there and blasted his car. Oh, you're going to be a freshman, so you just graduated junior high. All right, cool, cool. So you're a youngster. So if you're going into high school, you're 15. Okay, then you're just into just getting into the metal and stuff like that then, huh? I know that's about the time, junior high was about the time that I really got into music, like 7th and 8th grade. It was MTV. We got cable, and I asked the cable guy, I said, what channel's MTV? And he goes, oh, it's channel such and such. And he goes, I'll put it on before I leave. And he put it on, and it stood on there until my parents got home. Okay, so you're 14. Yeah, you're a youngster. I don't want to say my oldest boy that's here with me, he's 12. He'll be 13 in November, or just, yeah, November. He's still junior high. Man, this field is taking forever. All right, whose idea was it to plow a field this damn big? Well, we're about halfway there. Yeah. Oh, you like logging? Yeah, there's some great logging maps, man. Well, there's one map I've been hoping that it would come to. Oh, good lord! There's a map that was on 22 called Upper Mississippi River Valley, and I've been hoping that that would come back. I was hoping that, or not come back, but come to 25, and hasn't been friggin' ported over yet. But yeah, I'm not much into logging. If I was gonna do logging, this would have been one of the challenges to do it on. I use so much wood. Ah, I missed a spot. I thought I got them all. Oh well. Never played on it. Yeah, it was a beautiful map. It was a 4X map and stuff, but I think that and No Man's Land was my favorite maps on 25. Yeah, I got 3 challenges I'm doing right now. I got this one, got the island preservation, and then I do a multiplayer on Saturday on hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Oh, what needs to be refilled? Are you serious? Oh, we're out of fertilizer. That's what we're out of. Didn't I just sell it all? Jasper River Valley. That's a nice map. I'm just curious if I still have any liquid fertilizer. Oh yeah, I got a little bit. So the question is where production for farm goods. Okay. How is the other one doing? Oh, it still got a lot. Okay. Now, I do believe it's this up here. Oh, open. Back up. Is this it? No, where the heck? Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I can't get it out. No, right here. There we go. You don't like playing on hills? Yeah, I don't blame you. I know there was on FS25, there was a challenge called the 200 horsepower challenge, and none of your tractors could be over 200 horsepower. And climbing up some of those hills, man, on the map that I can't even think of what the name of the map was, but it wasn't big hills, but it had some hills, and there was like going up to the sell point was just horrible. You try to get a running start and you get about halfway up, and then you're like 1 mile an hour up it. Yeah, I like big maps and big fields. Okay, we got 30,000 in here. Hopefully that should be more than enough. If not, we'll just come back and get some more. And if we don't have enough and we have to buy some, I don't think money's a problem right now. All right, let's get back out here and yeah, I know about hills. I grew up in around Reno, like elementary and junior high, and then like off and on to high school and just a little bit out of high school. All right, you get back to doing what you were doing. All right, let's get back to Lyman. See, and it did it again. I don't understand why it does that. It leaves these little patches. I'm just wondering if that's a bug or not. Yeah, but I mean, this is something that it's done since day one. See, now it's, and the thing is it's still spraying. It's not using any lime, but you can see over here on the map that it should be turning to a darker green, and it ain't doing nothing. Yeah, I've reported this bug. I've reported it in 22 and 25 a couple of times. Also, I've reported the bug at least 25, maybe 30 times already. Just on 25 about after you create a field, you have to save your game, exit your game, come back into your game in order for it to register that there's a plow field there for you to purchase your soil sample. And that was an issue in 22. You know, I'm almost thinking that it might just be one of those is we don't know how to fix it, and sometimes the best fix is just turn it off, turn it back on. Nope, not a. It's not a. It's every map. Every map that I play, that if I create a field, I have to log out and then log back in order for me to purchase get the soils. I'll show you. This, when you're on here and stuff and you click on the map, it doesn't show this stuff. It won't show, this won't pop up on here. You can't purchase soil information. So you have to actually log out of this save, log out, and then come back in. You don't have to exit the game, you just have to log out of your save and go back to the main menu and then load back in, and it'll work. Even on multiplayer, it was the same way. All right, we're getting pretty close to running out of lime again, and gas. Yeah, like I said, it's a bug that has not been fixed since 22. When they added precision farming in 22, it had the same issues. And I have no idea how to do programming and stuff like that, so how to fix that problem, I have no idea. I'm just barely starting to dabble in modding. All right. Herd. Herd's in the house. What's up, my dude? How you been? How you doing? How's your day? We're over here liming 500 acres of wheat field. My dumb ass is like, yeah, I almost got this thing done. The challenge is almost done. I just gotta wait for the last few houses to be built. And yeah, as soon as they're built, the challenge will be done. But I decided to plow a friggin' 500-acre field. It's just houses take so long to build. Oh, you're rendering out some videos right now? What you putting? What's coming out? The Build-A-Town? Or you're I think that's what you called it. Have you came up with the name for that town yet? Oh, we need to get some gas too, because we will run out if we don't get gas. Yeah, I remember the last video I watched, you were talking about naming a town. You should do it like Delbergville or something like that. Like take a couple, you know how there's always like something Ville or something Dell or something Berg. Use those. Dalbergville. I'm trying to get ahead. I'm working Amazon 40 hours a week and FedEx 40. Oh, you were doing 80 hours a week just delivering before Prime? Yeah. Yeah, Prime Day's coming up, huh? But you know, you got to work to make that money. Yeah, I hear you, man. I completely understand. I've been there. I know there was a time I was doing double jobs. I was working basically I was working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then when I get off at 5 and stuff, I'd go deliver pizza at night. And I did that for about 3 months. And then I was just like, nope. Because I originally started off working, I was delivering pizza at night. And then I got a job working for my uncle at the bakery during the day. And I was like, cool, I can work during the bakery during the day and then go deliver pizza at night, until I realized I had no life. The only people I was socializing with was the people that I worked with. And most of the people I worked with at the pizza parlor, I didn't care for. I'm doing great. Oh, you know, just kicking back, enjoying some Farm Sim, and we played some Empires of the Undergrowth earlier. Got our asses handed to us 3 times. Well, let me rephrase that, 6 times, because I streamed today and I streamed last week, and I got my butt handed to me last week also. Oh, and oh, today I was this close. I was that close, and I'm like, oh, I can run and get these food over here. If I would have just stood on the ants base and stopped them, I could have got it. I could have beat it. I don't know what's better. It just, I just know when I'm getting one, the other gets further away. Well, you know, here's the thing about it is if you're getting paid, the laid will come along with that. You got to get the paid, because if you're not getting the paid, you're not getting the laid. So, you know, like they say, you got to make that cash to get that. Hang on, kid walked into the room. Aren't you married? Heard, aren't you married? So if you're married, you shouldn't be getting laid anymore anyways. So just go get paid. Yeah, when you're doing 80 a week, man, yeah, that's just basically work and sleep. I wasn't doing 80 a week. I was probably doing about 65, 70, because I was only doing about maybe 30 hours at the pizza, but it was always on. Most of the time it was the weekends. It was funny. I walked into work and I asked the manager. I said, "Hey, have you did this next week's schedule?" And she's like, "No, not yet. Why?" I said, "Well, keep me off of it." And she goes, "What for?" I said, I'm gonna take a break." And she goes, not married, just longtime girlfriend, so I'm overdue on asking. Yeah, you are. Hey, unless you live by my motto, you know, girlfriends are cool. You love your girlfriend, treat her with with all your heart. But damn it, don't you know that marriage is punishment for shoplifting in some countries? Oh no, I stole a candy bar. Get a slap on the hand over here. Other countries, oh no, I stole a candy bar. You got to marry my daughter. Nah, that's just a joke. It would be crazy though, huh? Yeah, I gotten told marriage is just a piece of paper and divorce is hella expensive. Oh, you're coming back next year? Whereabouts you gonna be at, man? We'll have to get together one day and do lunch or something. Central Coast always? Okay, cool. You were what, Morro Bay last time? Were you trying to get land here and there? Yeah. I know, like I said, I'm around the Fresno area, and I had a buddy of mine that ended up he moved from back east over here, him and one of his friends, and they to start a band and everything. And I told him, I said, "Well, why the hell did you move to Fresno?" He goes, "Because everything's close." He goes, "You go like an hour this way, and there's the coast. You go an hour this way, you can go skiing. You go an hour this way, you're in the middle of a desert." You love Cali? Yeah, I feel like a West Coaster trapped on the East Coast. Yeah, I feel you, man. But yeah, San Luis Obispo, Avila, Pismo. Pismo's cool. I like Pismo. That's where everybody around here goes to all the time. Last time I went to Pismo was during COVID. I drove to Pismo, and there's where the pier's at. There's a little restaurant. Oh, well, not a little, but there's like a restaurant that sits right there next to it. And I went there and I got fish and chips and some clam chowder, but you couldn't go inside. They had like the door was open, but there was like a block to make it like a half door, and you stand there and order, and then they would make it and call you. Yeah, Pismo is busy. Oh, it's busy. Like I said, that's where everybody around where I'm at, it's like if they go, they're going, oh, we're going to the coast. You know where everybody here goes to Pismo and stuff. But yeah, so I drove all the way out there. I drove all the way to the coast. I ordered fish and chips and clam chowder. And I told them that I want the clam chowder. I don't want it. I want the bowl, but I want it separate because I'm not going to eat it right now. And they put it in just like a plastic bowl. Well, not a plastic, but a styrofoam bowl. And then put the bread in there. And then I got the fish and chips. And I went and I sat in my car and I parked like right off the pier where I can face and look down the pier and see the ocean. I sat there, ate my fish and chips, drove back home and had the clam chowder for dinner. Yeah, I really haven't been a whole lot of places to see like different vibes and stuff like that. And when I have gone to other places, it was like there and back. Like I was telling Grave Reaper earlier. Like I flew out to New York City one time back in the day to go see AC/DC. To tell you how long ago it was the Black Ice tour. But we flew out there and we got a limousine ride from the airport to the hotel, and then 2 hours later we went from the hotel to the concert, from the concert back to the hotel. On the way back, when we got dropped off in front of the hotel, I walked to the corner because I seen a dude selling a hot dog, so I went and got a hot dog. And then the next morning we got up, and pretty much as soon as we got up, we were back on an airplane heading back to Cali. Back to Fresno. Cali vibe compared to the rest of the country is chill. Like no big deal, Wi-Fi, just chill, man. Like, hang out, relax, no worries. People in New York, I think they saw a fight. It was just a conversation. Yeah, I just think everybody in California smokes weed, and there's like this thing in weed called don't give a fuck. You know, you go puff puff, I don't give a fuck. All your worries go away. But then again, it all depends on what part of California you're in. Some areas are a little bit more you know, like when you start getting into like the suburban and having to deal with like suburban mom and soccer moms and stuff like that. Oh, good Lord. Kids are freaking out, man. They're all like, we want food.
We're back on. Just trying to walk. So.
Okay. Yeah, people visit New York and think they saw a fight. It was just a conversation. Yeah. I was with assessment. I was in more older community was way chill and still tons of smokers. Yeah, that's the thing. California, there's you know, it's harder for me to say, okay, who do I know that doesn't smoke? One and start. Now, the only thing you got to worry about in California is all the goddamn tweakers. All right, Heard, you have a good day, man. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. When you going live again? Do some more live streaming, Heard. Anyways, you go have a good day and get those recordings out so we can watch them. Live soon. I'm getting some stuff together this week to get a little ahead of the game, and then yes, live streaming will be back very soon. Forward to it, because we always get in some good conversations on live streams. Where I get the most trouble. Yep. Always get in trouble on the live streams. All right. I'm going to run and grab me a drink real quick. I'll be right back. Hopefully I don't run off the map. Oh, never mind. They're gone. You ate them already, huh? Somebody did. thought I had a bag sitting up right here. All right, I'm back. And we're still good. Oh, and we're almost done. Well, we're not, but they are. How did we miss some spots? All right, well, we'll have to fix those. And how are we doing on that, too? Yeah, see, we missed a spot right there. Yeah, we're getting close to the end, too. Probably about another, I don't know, 6 or 8 up and downs. Probably not about another, what, half hour? We'll be done. We'll definitely have to go fill it with lime at least one more time. Maybe twice. Watch, we're gonna have like 100 feet of field left, and we're gonna run out of lime. Only one left. And they must be talking about the orange juice or the yoo-hoo, one of the two. Uh-oh. One is running out of fertilizer. Stop this here. Not you, but you. Too many damn. I figured no reason sitting there and watching them go when we can just sit here and watch them be spraying at the same time. He's almost out, but and he's done. Okay, he's going up his last line. All right, will he be able to get there? Oh, cool. You're going to run right into him, aren't you? Okay, so what we're going to do is when he finishes, we're just going to bring him down and start him down here. You know what? Who's he at? Right here? Man, we have done so much lime in this field. And what I'm kind of doing is watching the seed and the fertilizer. I do believe that once it turns around and starts coming back, that it should not be seeding or fertilizing anymore, because it's already been seed and fertilized. We'll just have to keep an eye and see what it does. Okay, it just slowed down. It's doing 22. All right, let's see. Yeah, see, now it's coming back up that way. All right, we just got to get up there where we finished. Right about here. And then we'll get this guy going again. And, yeah, and then we'll get back on that line. We still got not that much. We still got what, probably about one, two, three, about 4, maybe 5 up and downs. I'm just hoping we've got enough lime to finish. I don't think we do. That's crazy. You look right there. Oh, wow. And it just barely popped on the map. All right. Let's get back to Lyman. This blue line over, or this one here is throwing me off. It's like, why is that one there? All right, cool. We finished his work. That means this field is planted with wheat. And we bypassed that bug. Now the blue line's going the other way. Okay. Uh-huh. Yes, it's driving by itself. it's called GPS. You just line it up with that green line, or when it's off. If it goes like that, it's yellow. Push this button, and it turns green, and then it goes right back on that line, and it follows that green line. Yeah, that is cool, huh? Little hill, yeah. See, now you actually have to drive when you get to the end of the end of the field, because you got to turn around. So I push a couple buttons over here. I'm pushing the A button, turn the wheels to the left, and then when I get it, I push that button, and it lines back up and goes. Yeah, and we're almost out of lime again. Yes, GPS is nice. Except sometimes it could be bad too. There's times that I've been doing like big fields like this and I got GPS on, I'm just sitting here. I'll start dozing off. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me up when you're at the end of the field. Just beep. Here, go put the tablet. Yay! And we're out of line. If you're not logging, you're doing silage. Yeah, GPS is nice. We've already used 300,000 liters of lime. 300,000. And this will be 400. Yeah, I don't like using the AI workers, or just not the the in-game workers and stuff like that. I really use Courseplay. I find it easier. Yeah, this thing holds 100,000, and that is the fourth time that we have filled it up. There's 600,000 liters left in that. It holds 1 million. Now, where the heck did, oh, let's just follow the tire marks. Are you gonna make it there? Just sitting out here spitting out lime. Stuff's free. Forgot to turn it on. Oh crap! Okay. I was like, "There's two. Which one's which?" I do love the sound of the rain and the lightning in this game. All right, looks like we got two more. One up, one down. And we will be done. It's only been what, 2.5 hours? 2.5 hours to lime one field. To lime? None. This is the only one. Yeah, the other ones, some of them aren't even planted yet. Like all of this over here is not even planted. And then everything here has already been limed. So we just need to skip a couple of months and get to planting again. Oh, we are almost done. And it's funny, you think, where's, I'm almost toward the end of the field. You'd be like right over this hill, and nope. It's still another 5 miles down the road. Ah, there's the end of it, I think. Ah, yet so close, yet so far. Only about 5 more minutes and we'll be at the end of the field. It just seems like that. And the field is done. Okay. Okay. Let's get these guys parked. Actually, we need to get them topped off. You know, actually, I think this is where I'm going to call it a day. We're going to end right here. We got a lot done today. We got that field done, and we didn't crash. Look at how big that field is. Oh my, and we missed some spots, damn it. That is going to get us a lot of wheat. I had this field up here that's wheat. Matter of fact, I need to rename this. All right. So, yeah. So I'm going to call it a day. Where the hell is my kid keeps taking my phone. Anyways, I'm going to get up out of here. I thank you guys for coming and hanging out and everything like that. Grave, Heard, you know, appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. And Grave, if you haven't subscribed to Heard, man, you should go subscribe to him. He makes some pretty cool farm content or farm sim content. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I will catch you guys later, and bye for now.